Hello people, here we are, we're doing it. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching. Here we are doing it one more time, another week down, a little more Stargate to go. We're going to be watching some SG1, 9 and 10 of Season 8. We're going to be catching 9 and 10 of Season 1 of Atlantis. Get there, find it, do it. You can find it on Amazon Prime. Grab your snacks, your drinks, all your watch party enhancers. Meet me at 5 seconds, you guys. You know how the watch parties work. Sync up to 5 seconds. We'll count to 3 and we'll press play together. Kason, what's up, my dude? Max the Robot, what's up, bro? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a good week. So, fellas, this episode, it's called Sacrifices, episode 9 of season 8, SG1. I don't remember it being that much of a good episode. Should I play I'm sorry, what's it called? The director's commentary? Do you guys want to hear what they talk about? Usually that's pretty good. So if I don't remember the episode that well, might have been I missed it a couple times or it wasn't that good. So if you guys are down for some commentary, we could throw commentary, or we could just watch the episode for what it is. Maybe we'll go back and forth. Maybe we'll do a little bit of behind the scenes talk and then a little bit of episode. We'll just start the episode normally for now. All right, you guys, get there, find it, do it. This is it. Here we are, episode 9, Sacrifices. Gotta go through all the warnings and attentions. Yes, 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 yes. Warning, warning, warning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys. Here we are. We are at 5 seconds. Cheyenne Mountain Complex, the entrance in good old Colorado. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yep. That's him. You can usually tell. Zone X, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing all right today. We're starting the Stargate stream a little last minute. I didn't give you guys a heads up because I usually do it later, and I'm probably going to be doing some chores later while I still got some sunlight out and it's not so hot. So, yeah, my bad, you guys. Last minute. We're going to catch 4 episodes right quick, and then I'll be hopping off. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. We're going to kill the music. You can find it on Amazon Prime. If you want to watch along, Amazon Prime has Stargate SG1 and Atlantis and Universe. Good night, Zone X. Thank you for stopping through. You're more than welcome to hang out, but if you're going to catch some Z's, get them, bro. We'll be here. Hate is such a strong word. The ramblings of a madman. Alright, you guys. I'm gonna kill that music. Already killed the lights. This is what I see. Cheyenne Mountain. We're gonna count to 3 and press play. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yo. What? Been betrayed by those he trusts the most? That doesn't sound so bad. What happened? Little Ryek's getting married. Nice. Crack those drinks open, you guys. Cheers, fellas. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and hanging out. The Stargate watch party. Hell yeah, dude. Yo, Teal'c is mad. Look at him. Bro. Bro. Hell yeah, O'Neal. Got to get that 1 point in, right? Uh oh. Ryak, calm down, fool. He'll get it. He'll come around. He needs about 2 or 3 broken hearts, and then he'll be all right. I know who you are, dude. You don't have to prove nothing to me. Sit down, you old coot. Exactly, dude. Do it, bro. Get it.
One morning, he's going through T-shirts. He's getting bigger and bigger. Now these two are great together. They're just, to have a. She is a different type of Jaffa character. Usually Jaffa are incredibly traditional. They're like from the 40s. The women stay at home and take care of the kids. Unless they're attacked, then they can kill people. But the Jaffa warriors go out and do all the killing. But so this is what's so cool is that she is actually this warrior who's used to being in charge of herself, in charge of her own destiny, and she's kind of frustrated that she's got to play ball with the other Jaffa.
Right. And then, of course, the personal relationship that the characters have had over time.
Oh, you can cut the sexual tension with a knife.
You have no wish to fight side by side.
They want to get it over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So hot for
I mean, look at the way they're looking at each other.
Yeah.
As you will continue to be because
It's the subtext of this entire scene.
Rest until Moloch is dead.
Either that or they're hungry. I can't tell.
And by the
Oh,
way,
they're hungry, all right.
do you have a light?
Exactly. Meet me in
scene.
the commissary in 5.
We actually did this scene a number of different ways so Jolene could try a number of different performance levels.
How was she to work with?
She was great to work with. She was a lot of fun, very hard worker. She was a joy. Absolute pleasure to work with.
This is cute, by the way.
Yeah, this is a fun scene.
O'Neill checking out the Hochtel, and the kids running through here.
Yeah, but there's more. There's more coming.
Yeah, well, you can tell them that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
They're gambling illegally
Yeah,
there, by the
exactly.
Bro.
Always fine.
I'll suggest it.
This was a little bit tricky to try to fit
way. Yeah.
a horse in this.
He
tiny
had to
little
touch the
hallway.
horse, by the way.
Yeah.
That was, we probably told actors don't touch the horse, but he had to touch the horse.
I think we did about
Nice.
probably a half a dozen takes of this, just because it was fun to do.
Look, he's touching her shoulders like Captain Kirk,
Fresh water, stable.
Like Captain Kirk? How so?
heaving her shoulders and saying, "On my planet,
Is that a Kirkism?
men express their love."
But notice how the horse got stuck at the end of the hall?
I know, because I was distracted by the shippy
Bro.
moment there.
Yes, sir.
See, don't look at those babes. Come on, you're my guy. Or are you?
And right about here, there is no more hallway.
Locked himself in his room.
I think literally right at that point, there's
Just
just
out
a
of
big
hallway.
plywood flat. This is kind of a pretty shot, again, showing off my favorite prop. And on the right-hand side is the character Nick Tell, played by Nikki Smook, wife of Michael Greenberg.
That's right. An equestrian enthusiast.
Absolutely. In fact, she was the one who brought the horse through the gate.
You'll
And
remember her
that
actually
opening
from
shot.
Birthright.
She was in Birthright.
She was
that's right.
she rode by saying someone has declared Jomo Seku and challenged Ishta to a battle. That was
Right.
her.
Jomo
Now she's
Seku.
back.
Good memory, Jomo Seku.
Yeah. Well, when you watch something in 3-4 mixes and cuts, and you remember. I may not be on location a lot, but
Mm-hmm. Do you read the lexicon?
right.
The lexicon is a sort of Bible of the show that gives us information relating to every character and every place and every episode ever in the history of the show, and it's a very valuable resource.
Yeah, we don't do it. It's put together by fans and sci-fi journalists who are hot on it. There's some funky hair in this episode, by the
Some
way.
great hair.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, some
For
of
most
these
of them.
some of these beats came from people talking about arguments that they've heard about from family, wedding troubles.
so is this scene you're relating directly to some life experience that?
No, my wife and I never almost had a knife fight at our wedding, but we did argue over certain things, and I think that to me was a
Damn.
neat scene. The universally
Tilt's all happy.
No wedding runs like clockwork. That's what makes everyone identify with the Jaffa. Here's
That's
my
true.
favorite line here.
You can see why one must rehearse these events.
And you've got to have the drink. Nice.
Yeah,
See,
huh?
and then you kick off the Stargate.
And there's Gary. I think that's a stock shot of Gary from season 4.
Yeah.
That's definitely a stock shot from probably season 1.
There's John. This concerns you.
Actually, yeah, Gary's the only one whose hair hasn't changed at all. Really.
Well, he's now
past couple
Sergeant
years.
Harriman.
Right.
He's been actually given, and he's Chief Sergeant.
Chief
You
Master
hear that?
Sergeant.
Chief Master Sergeant.
Moving
Walter
up.
Harriman.
And if you're watching season 9 right now, you'll notice that General Landry, played by Beau Bridges,
Hey,
calls him
we're
Chief.
watching
He's
season
got
8
a
right now.
nickname,
Don't ruin it.
as opposed
Does
to
he call him
Walter.
Chief?
Yeah,
Does he?
Chief, dial the gate. Yeah, that's his thing.
That's his new handle? He didn't do that on Avalon.
I've
is
seen him
smart
do it. And you know where it came from? I think Brad put it in Beachhead. So
And how does that relate directly with the episode we're watching?
well, Gary's in it.
Right. That is her real hair, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
Extensions?
Maybe. Yeah, there's some extensions, I think.
Okay.
The little braid on the side.
Okay. Well, it's cool. She's got great hair.
Can I come with you?
That's her real hair, too.
This is called Spot the Wig with Andy and Damien. Wig or not a wig?
Wig or
So,
no wig?
Obviously, this whole front half of the story took place. All the scenes were shot here at the Bridge Studios.
That had to be when we were breaking the story with Chris. What happens when a writer who's part of the fold of writers who have written before, like Chris, comes in with an idea. We know he's got good ideas, and he comes in and we start to break it. We put it up on the board and break. When I say break it, I mean break it down into its components, its beats, story beats. And we realized, look, Chris wanted to have, let's go to the Hocto planet. We got the tents. We'll have a big wedding, and they'll get attacked and all. We said, yeah, this time of year we're thinking maybe we could do the first half inside and then really get into it in the second half and have that be so that when we're out on the planet there's a lot more going on than toasting and weddings and rehearsals, and so that this is all deliberate to have them come here because they were threatened, and then when they go scouting for a planet they have to that's when they get in trouble. And so I think it works really well. I think there's a great novelty of having these warrior women in the SGC. It's quite fun.
And plus the fact that it saves the company tens of thousands of dollars to
So you get
keep
your
it
cake.
on our home sets.
Yeah, you get your cake and you eat it too. So this is an interesting episode because it's a good story. It's got fun stuff and it's about family, but it's also a heavy one. It gets quite heavy at the end. Nice shot.
Yeah, Neil did a good job working the big stick.
Well, you framed him up nice there.
No, it's good. He worked very hard at it. He really wanted to do a good job with it. And kudos to him for...
Have I not been a dutiful son? Have I not brought honor to my name?
You have indeed.
Then why will my father not bless my union with Corinne?
And that was real sweat. We didn't have to spray him down.
He's not in good
we were
shape, is
making
he?
him we were making him work.
He worked him
on this
hard.
day.
You pledged your life.
He's as tall as Tony now. It's
He is.
crazy.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. We kept his hair a little longer just to keep him that much.
Yeah, give him an extra
got
foot.
a couple inches.
Yeah.
Now the set that was the last scene that just took place is really literally just on the other side of that wall. It's this particular room is called the multi-purpose room, same room that the ping pong
Yeah.
scene took place in.
Yeah.
The gate room is right beside it, but of course this could be anywhere on the base. But that's what we do is we just redress the same spaces over and over and over again to create new sets.
We're very lucky
of
to
the
have
illusion.
that many standing sets and have an incredibly talented set deck crew who come in and take rooms that would put you to sleep.
Yeah, dude.
Look like incredible spaces, interesting
dude.
stuff in the background. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
having just the sets there is not enough. You have to decorate them.
You can never tell it's the same room.
Rob and Mark
Well, you
Davidson
can
do
if you look
incredible
for it,
work.
but
Absolutely.
I've never seen anything like it, and
They
every
sew it up
season
well.
they just top themselves. So, whether you see blinky light machines in the background and Ivy's hanging, or you see stuff in
The mess
the
hall.
tents that you'll see coming up,
Food.
they are able to create whole
Wild.
worlds that look like people have been living in them for years. In a couple hours, they just show up with all their stuff, do it, get out of the way, and we shoot.
Well, that's the truth. They literally only get a couple of hours, and because the set is always one thing that's shooting, and then as soon as the company's wrapped for the day for filming, then the boys come in and do the transformation for the next morning.
Yeah.
And yours.
And sometimes not the next morning. They'll have to do it in between scenes and do a very, very rapid changeover. So you're quite right.
And quiet. Hey, look, we're outside.
Finally.
This is a cool thing, this big tent.
Yeah.
Bridget McGuire said tents, and we said sure, and then it was like, wow.
All right, we're going to go back to the episode.
Here's Chris.
I can't let you hear too much
Jeff
of it, but
Judge.
we're going to go back to the episode.
Wait much longer of time before our numbers grow too large for Moloch not to discover. We risk losing everything.
Yo. Yo, how come the fire on the tents doesn't catch on fire?
The staff blast holes through the tent as they're caught in the crossfire, and then you watch this and go, wow, even better. You know.
And it's also one of those moments that you would have loved to have lingered on even a little bit longer, just because it was such a cool sequence. And hats off to our special effects, our practical effects crew.
Yeah, dude.
With, Ray Douglas and company. Excuse me, Scott Stouffer and all the boys, because they did a great job with. Because it was, we hadn't even really tested it much, and it was going to be a real luck of the draw.
Well, that master you shot, I'll never forget. Just worked like that. It's just great.
Yeah, it was cool.
And you had all the right coverage to just cut it all brilliantly. It just looks so good.
So this is the one of our newest locations that we've been using. I think this was our first season out there at the 200th and 1st at the border, Canada-U.S. border. One of the few sort of big areas that we can use without running into development problems.
We are running out of locations.
We are running out of locations. Yeah, all our great forest locations are being developed.
Richmond Sand Dunes is shrunk to nothing.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's tricky to get. So we have to find different looks and different. And what we do is we're starting to invest in building big sets inside the studio and multi-purpose it. Use it in having Atlantis means we can repurpose things and amortize the cost of them much better. And you'll see those who watch season 9 of SG1 and season 2 of Atlantis will see, they'll go, hey, that looks like the village from that show, and this, and we did that, and you have to really look carefully to see what's going on, but there, you have to do that when your locations which are tough to shoot at anyway, go away.
Right. And there's a real wealth of places at this particular location. In fact, virtually all the exteriors here were all within about 150 yards of the main tent location. So that was sort of our main staging area.
Tritonin introduced in my second episode I wrote, and the first one you directed that I had written.
That's right. Cure.
I love a good argument.
This was a little bit heartbreaking for me because the coolest shot in this sequence, our Steadicam master of this, was completely out of focus for some reason. We had a focus problem.
Oh dear.
Now.
And it was a really cool shot, and it was too bad that we ultimately couldn't use it.
Unwilling to assist my silence.
I said, Daniel. Well, as you can see, everyone's a little upset.
We will not abandon.
So you get to the turning point in the episode here. They've gone out to talk to Jaffa. They've gotten in trouble. They've been betrayed. Pardon me, I have a slight cold.
Yeah.
There's some bodily noises. I apologize.
Neil's sister's in this scene. She's part of the crowd. Oh, there she is. You can see one of her eyes. She's right there behind Neil.
Looks just
right
like
over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is again.
They look very related. So the story begins to turn here, obviously.
Yeah.
We're going to spend pretty much the rest of our time out here.
And here's a rare Stargate SG1 night shoot.
Yes. But look at that. Just looks so cool.
But these kind of shots, when they're this tight, you could easily cheat in an interior greens set, which we do a lot. We replicate these sorts of settings quite a lot in the studio, but because we were doing these tie-ins to the actual tent, it just made sense to shoot the coverage, all the tight close-ups here on location as well.
I love it when the fire stuff is out of focus in the deep BG. That's great.
Yeah.
X-Files.
We cannot hide forever from their patrols.
We will rest here.
And it gives that really nice texture.
If your plan is to wait until they give up and leave,
I merely need to gather the...
You know, this is one of the things I talk about, deepening the mythology of the Jaffa. Now, at this point in the mythology, some Jaffa are Untratonin, some aren't. And so some are like, yeah, I got a symbiote inside me. I feel fine. What's wrong with you? And then, the people, have to, are dependent on drugs.
Now, do you think people are more interested in knowing that kind of information, or do you think they want to know more about the things that were happening in while we were shooting this, like
the big honkin' K light behind there?
Exactly.
He could be the informant as easily as anyone, and using this opportunity to gather knowledge concerning the rebellion.
I know. But he is right about one thing. We cannot wait to act. I am already growing weak.
You need rest.
As do you.
I will take first watch.
Tilk. I promised all Jaffa under Malak's rule. They will be free from his tyranny.
It was not a foolish promise. One day,
get her, Teal.
we'll all be free.
Yeah.
One day is not soon enough.
Get her, Teal.
where is Ishtar?
It was her turn to take one.
So, the great thing was Jeff did a good job here. We brought him back for Reckoning Part 1 and 2.
He was dynamite.
Yeah.
He was really great.
He's got a great look. He's very physical. He's got the Chris Judge low growly voice, which is great. Nice macro shot.
No, that's not a macro. It's a telephoto shot, and it's
Is
a very,
it?
very long.
Oh, macro is the big.
That's the up close.
Why I don't direct.
And here's the evil Moloch, played by a wonderful actor by the name of Royston Ennis. A great guy.
Related to
Claudia Black.
Royston Ennis sounds like
really?
a place, sort of a shire you would go to in northern England and get a good steak and kidney pie. Have you been to Royston Ennis? They have the best steak and kidney pie in the north of England.
Bartender, pass me a Royston Ennis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that, by the way, was the joke I was telling you that I was warming up in the bullpen. The Royston Ennis joke, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did
There
I
you
spoil
go.
it?
No, you helped.
Okay.
Yeah, Royston was terrific as Moloch. And it's cool to meet Moloch after talking about him in Birthright last season.
Mm-hmm.
To finally go, let's bring in the Molochster.
Yeah, he had just recently moved to Vancouver, I believe, from Toronto, but he's via... I think he spent a lot of time in New York. I forget his whole story, but...
Now, Jeff uses a huge amount of hair gel. Look for that later.
Oh, yeah. No, he does. He's got
a tub of it every morning.
He's got some product going on. Then we get the little whirly gig reflected in the window on the gate.
Yeah.
Which is always a fun gag to play.
See, now I feel like just watching the last couple acts, not talking anymore. Now,
we didn't really do that to her. This is all just a vis effect.
Right.
Look at that backlight.
Fantastic.
Jim Menard. He's an artist.
It's cool to see these scenes because, in season 9, the Gould really aren't much in the picture. And we really got Goulded out by the time we finished this season, and with Baal and Anubis and old Moloch here.
Mm-hmm. No, it was time. It was time to.
There are Goulds, obviously, who play important roles in episodes in season 9, but this is one of the last episodes of just the Gould with his own army messing with you.
Right.
Episodes. The rest of it has to do with Baal and Anubis and global or big galaxy-wide problems.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a nostalgic feeling when I see Moloch.
Well, I'm glad you get that feel about it.
Using the old hand device. Nice canted angle. That's cool. Love it.
When you go handheld, you can move it around as you please.
The UAV will then circle back.
Let me step back for a breath here again.
Yeah.
It's also fun seeing Amanda tapping because, of course, as you all know, she just recently had a child, had a little girl, and so she hasn't been a part of season 9 yet. She will be coming
about a month
in
ago.
Yeah, she had the baby about a month ago, and she actually brought. Did you see her when she came by the office with?
Yeah, gorgeous.
With her, it was beautiful.
She's very
She
happy.
looked great.
Yeah. And yes, she will be back at work soon, we hope.
Yes, hopefully in about a month.
Oh, there's Dan Shea, our stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
Or Siler.
Is he still a sergeant? Has he gotten a...
Yeah, he's one of those guys, he really hasn't done anything to be worthy of promotion.
Right.
Well, he does a lot of heroic things. He helps save the Earth, but then he gets caught stealing or, playing solitaire on his computer, and they can't promote him. That's how I see it.
Yeah, he just sort of puts it on for when the brass is around, right? The
Totally.
rest of the time
the other guys call him bootlicker because really he
Bro.
sucks up to O'Neill. And,
Yo.
Hey, look at that. See, I haven't actually seen this effect in. We were actually talking about getting an actual remote.
One of Ray Douglas's.
Ray Douglas's little remote planes, little RC controlled.
He'd love
unit.
he probably has it ready to be shot down too, because I
could have done it.
I think that's what Ray Douglas is our special effects guy. He blows stuff up, and I guarantee you he has model planes that he has blown up.
Oh yeah, and he loves the toys. He loves.
Yeah.
He would relish the opportunity to fly a UAV overhead and blow it out of the sky for real.
I'm on my way.
Be careful, Teal.
I remember this day out on location. I was sick as a dog. I had the worst flu.
Yeah, and in a production situation, when one person gets the flu, everybody gets the flu.
Well, and it's not like you can just phone in and say, I can't come in today.
Yeah, cover for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathaniel walking through open flame. Nathaniel Massey, our Steadicam operator.
It's great. Oh, that's
Teal going for the fix.
It's just so bad when they bust you before you can take your drugs.
Yeah, dude.
There, Dan
Yeah,
Payne.
dude.
Dan, yeah.
You'll see him in Atlantis. You'll see him. He is the super soldier.
He's the super soldier, yeah. You all know that. You've heard this one.
He's a super soldier?
A large man.
He's a good guy, too. Really nice fella.
He can deliver. You wouldn't shoot a man with great sideburns like myself.
Shelkek Nemron, and look at my arms.
Shelkek Nemron means
Don't mess with me.
Well, there's jokes. It can mean a lot of things, like the Raiders will win the Super Bowl. But what it really means is, I too shall die free, brother. So if you say Shelkek Nemron to Jaffa, you're sort of saying, hey, are you one of those turncoat Jaffa who doesn't worship the Gould?
Right.
And but it's a gamble, If the guy's not buying it, this happens.
Always got to have a firefight.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is a great action sequence.
Think so? Oh, look at that double backflip.
The whole deflecting the thing with the piece of wreckage, great.
That was a couple of shots that didn't work quite so well, but by and large it was
the music,
okay.
by the way, Joel Goldsmith, just fabulous. The tragedy.
Joel's great.
Had you left me with a weapon?
I think we shot this in 15 minutes. It was another one of those days.
Wow, good job.
And it was hot this day too, I remember.
Is there anything else I can do to prove my loyalty?
Less hair gel. I don't trust people with so much hair product. They're great, the brothers.
Yeah, brothers in arms.
So here she is.
It's kind of a sexy shot.
Man, I could go for some Tritonin right now. And I love the lighting here. You got
we kept the old shafts of light alive throughout the sequence.
I'm out of things to say. Maybe we should just talk about our vacation in Maui with our families. But just so you know, our family's vacation in Maui in November, and we had a great time.
That's true.
The weather was good. We did some golfing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's... Is that...
No, it's an appropriate thing to talk about. Hey, you know what? When I went to get a cup of coffee before coming in here, that guy was right outside Starbucks, I swear to God.
The guy delivering the line?
Yeah. I forgot his name, but yeah, he was there.
We should have brought him in.
His hair was a little longer.
He could have hung out until his moment. And then...
I knew I had recognized him. I'm serious when I say that.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
We got to bring that dude back. Does he die in this episode?
They all die, eventually.
That's true. They all do die.
What happened to the sarcophagus? That kind of went away. Never met anybody.
Well, the problem with the sarcophagus is that it makes you addicted to using it. It's also a bit of a magic bullet that you can keep being brought back to life. And we played a lot of sarcophagus stories. And I'm just spinning here, but I think what happened, we lost the prop.
Lost the prop. It got sold on eBay.
Yeah.
The aim is at your target. The missiles will come through and strike where you aim.
It's going to be hard to see a laser in bright sunlight, though, isn't it?
Through the power of amazing effects.
One of the difficult things about these Jaffa outfits is anytime you lie down or you sit down, you get the turtle head thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, look at...
You disappear into the helmet. Well, this is one of the things...
What neck?
We're introducing a new type of Jaffa warrior. Almost an elite samurai.
What?
Clan of Jaffa in season 9, halfway through, and they have a much more stripped down look to them. They're not wearing that same armor. They have a kind of a distinctive armor, and that was cool to do because we love the Jaffa, but it's
I don't remember
cool
the Jaffa being different in season 9.
Distinct variations.
It's been a while.
Tilk's about to.
I mean, not that long.
We stole this, I think, from.
I remember them being that different.
We did indeed. This is
great
stuff. Tilk's assault with the old double-headed staff weapon here.
Oh yeah,
it's killing time. That last guy bit it real well. It's a great idea. Rob Cooper came up with that idea. Oh, let's have him zap strap to. Those are the zap straps used to bind people's wrists. He said, let's just have him do.
There was a bunch of other shots planned for that sequence, but again we ran out of time and didn't get to do it. And you know what? It works okay without.
This is the coffee guy?
This is the coffee guy. He was there. I swear.
Was he doing this at the start? Did he have someone at knife point?
He had somebody right around the neck.
I want a mochaccino. And I want it now. I love the guns.
It's a big gun, yeah.
That's great. I love that. The little flare.
Had to sort of get it right into the lens.
Folks, if you ever see this on you, flicking it, that's not going to cut it. You should just sort of say your last rites and go, whoa.
Wow. What was that?
That is the sound of your false god dying.
Gods cannot be killed.
Tilk.
Have you ever seen the food that guy pulls off the catering truck?
Although I know the truck's a lot lighter once he's eating.
4 plates just, stacked a foot high with nothing on it but meat.
He has an amazing workout regimen. He's just burning it off a lot.
But he'll eat like nothing but meat.
Oh yeah,
like just meat. Like he'll have like 4 steaks and.
Well, we've been out for dinner.
Half a chicken.
He's like, can I have a hamburger with no bun but 6 patties, please?
Yeah, he'll order like 4 burgers with no bun. Yeah.
He's a protein guy.
And then he'll have dinner after that.
Yeah.
A stock shot of Cheyenne Mountain, which we're going to be redoing a whole bunch of these soon.
That's right.
Speak of your love and devotion.
Ah, it's beautiful. Look at what we've done to the gate run here.
Yeah, it's pretty. Again, the set decorators. Just a bunch of guys come in with a bunch of stuff, and 5 minutes later, you've got a cool set.
Can you tell that Andy Makita likes the gate room? It's, you'll go in there all the time.
You know, one of the things about the movie that I really liked is, at least I think it was in the movie, the fact that whenever you saw the gate, there was always steam coming from it. Like they were always keeping the coolant running through, which I thought we should have done as well. And that got killed.
Well,
I'm not going to name any names.
Perhaps we're able to regulate the power more efficiently.
No, it just looks cool when you've got steam coming down off of those.
May you love and fight like
Isn't
warriors.
this nice?
Yeah.
Just not with each other.
They were all in makeup just an extra few minutes for this scene.
Oh, of course. Who wouldn't want to get married in the gate room, eh?
No kidding. Oh yeah, a little luck.
These two,
Maybe
huh?
we'll be next.
Yeah.
Is the subtext.
That's very true.
I think Jafar
I
do
wouldn't
believe
even
in
want to get
premarital
married in the
sex,
gate
though.
room.
I think they're pretty...
Well,
Totally.
Yeah,
maybe because I'm a fan,
they're not
and
uptight.
if my
They're
chick
very
was a fan
realistic
too,
that way.
maybe. But
This is kind of fun.
besides that, nah.
Master Braytac said this is where you took my mother.
Now,
Yeah, there's
this-
a flaw in this scene, I recall. It's the very secret location of the caves of Shimroa.
Right.
But, of course, he also knows it's where he took his mother. So it's not such a secret, is it? Ah, well, we watched that in the mix. Went,
Yeah.
ah.
Thank you.
This was the very first scene we shot for this episode, I believe. Very fitting to do the last scene first up.
Yeah.
At 6:30 in the morning.
Father,
Well,
I am aware of the ways between a man and a woman.
Are you now?
yeah, I did do some research for Chris, because he wasn't sure about the ways of a man and a woman. He asked me to look into that. What does that mean? Does it do some internet?
My favorite line right here.
My advice is that the knife be as sharp as possible.
Great music, too.
Yeah.
Perhaps Karen's right.
Looks terrified.
Not all of the old traditions are worth holding on to.
Indeed.
And what of you and Ishta?
What of us?
Well, your relationship would be much easier if you both admit you are in love. For us all.
Perhaps one day, when I am as one.
No, I think. Oh yeah, there was some serious face sucking going on at the end of this, at the base of the ramp, I believe.
Oh, yeah. There's a flying lip lock coming up.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
And no, not with O'Neill.
And for helping us find yet another new homeworld.
They look good. You can't have the Hackta Warriors in too often, I don't think.
You sure you got
Well,
it?
they're out there somewhere, and they're free.
Well, we should bring them back.
I'm sure Chris would love to do a 3-part arc with the Hacktal. He loved having them around a lot. So.
Yeah. Could work on
And
that.
with Enterprise down, Jolene will probably be available.
That's right, yeah. I wonder what she's up to. Have you spoken to her at all lately?
Nope.
We exchanged emails a couple of times, but I've sort of lost touch with her.
Father.
Another nice scene.
We could do Teal'c as a grandfather.
Exactly.
I think we're ready for that. How about this? How about this?
He'd look good with a gray
The
fro.
Hacktal come and they've got the baby and they dump the baby with Ishta and Teal'c for the weekend. Well, they go off to the caves of Shimroa, and it's a kind of a Mr. Mom episode.
Yo.
Yeah, Teal'c changing diapers,
Bro.
getting barfed on.
No.
I think it's a good
Hell
As
no.
a grandpa?
Yeah.
Do you remember the wrestler Sweet Daddy Siki? Remember
Yeah,
him?
get her, Teal.
With the white fro. I could see Chris with the white fro with big white sideburns as well.
So it's a time travel episode too, because suddenly he's aged 1,000 years.
So there's our rear screen projected puddle.
Looks very good. When you walk in and you actually see a puddle, because usually when you look at a Stargate prop like this, you see a big green
kiss. That's right. Sorry.
green screen. This time you go and you go, my God, there's a real wormhole.
There's a real
I've got to tell Brad, there's an actual wormhole in our set.
Now we probably
All right,
shouldn't be
you guys.
talking now, but we can keep talking until the
I'm going
credits
to the
roll.
end now.
So,
I can't remember
real
who are all
quick,
these people.
because we're gonna
Ryan,
be switching
Ryan
back and
Cosmic, who
forth
I
to
played
discs
in a playoff game against
only
my hockey
because
team,
the next episode of
I actually
Atlantis
play on the same team, pal.
is called
Yeah.
Home.
And somebody else in this room does
So
too.
Yeah.
if
Dino.
there's
Dino.
anything
Captain
that has
Dino.
to
There's
do
Dino
with
back there.
Yeah.
You guys can't see
SG1
Dino, but
or
he's here.
Earth,
He's in the back. He's hanging. Thanks,
I don't
everybody.
wanna-
See ya.
Thanks for watching.
I don't want to
Hope
play
you
the
enjoyed
second
Sacrifices.
SG1 episode, and just in case something happened, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, and this is what happened to Expedition Team Atlantis." And it's like, "Oh, bro, well, we still haven't watched it yet. We're gonna watch it after this." Oh, well, you messed up. So we're gonna check out some special features. You guys down? Who's down for a special feature? We'll do some special features. There's one bonus feature. Yeah. If I get warnings on YouTube for copyright, I'm gonna block the screen and mute the sound. But hopefully we'll be alright.
Anubis created the super soldiers, and that came from a, I think, rather intelligent recognition on his part that the Jaffa were no longer a reliable army. We've done a number of stories now where the Jaffa have begun to doubt the Gould as gods and have turned upon the Gould in many circumstances, and there are rebel Jaffa spies amongst the Jaffa, and at this point I kind of think the Gould were being a bit silly not coming up with an alternative servant warrior, so to speak, and that was one of the reasons we had Anubis create the super soldiers, was to make him look like a smarter, more formidable villain. The Gould are supposed to be these high-tech, powerful master race that has access to incredible technology, and yet all they have are these guys, running around in skirts, blowing horns. So we wanted to introduce a more formidable but also higher tech super warrior that would present a challenge for us, and add some sort of a cool factor to the show, and I think that the sort of the multi-dimensional layer to them, they aren't just a
Looks
robot
wild.
warrior. There's a kind of a cool duality to them. They have a Gould inside them, and a Gould that's been animated using ancient technology that Anubis has utilized. Makes it very unique to the Stargate universe.
Rob came up with the idea of having a kind of a new level of bad guy, if you will. Like, we've had it was born of the issue of that Jaffa were beginning to join the Free Jaffa movement. The logical step was to create a bad guy who was basically like a Terminator. And what happened is, when we were getting ready to do Evolution Part 1 and 2, we just started talking conceptually about the Super Soldier, or the Cull Warriors, as they eventually became known, and what they would look like and what they would be like, and I guess the science behind them was an issue. A lot of it actually was initially born of the ideas that came out of Cure, when you had a symbiote that had the healing powers and gave you strength and stuff, but it didn't take over your will. It was basically a tabula rasa or a blank slate Gould. And Rob used that as a springboard for, like, what if you could create a superhuman clone, as it were, and put a symbiote in them, but they didn't have any of that horrible ego and posturing that goes on when you're dealing with a Gould. So essentially, a Gould slave with all sorts of interesting technology. And from there, super strength, incredible allegiance, loyalty, which is not what the Gould are known for. So essentially you got someone who was unquestionably loyal to Anubis. You got healing powers and strength of a Gould, and you got technology that made them incredibly hard to kill. Blow them up, but you need a huge amount of explosives to do that. Bullets don't work, even Zat and staff blasts don't work, and even a lot of defensive weaponry, as we see in Evolution Part 1, shielding, contain, doesn't work. So it was sort of mission accomplished in finding a really, really tough to kill bad guy.
We wanted it to be more than just a guy in a suit, robot warrior. We wanted there to be an added dimension to this bad guy that made him extra creepy, and I think the idea of having a reanimated zombie Gould inside this evil black suit just made it all that much more scary.
Speak! I serve Anubis.
Rob is great at blurring the line between the human and the technological. And I think people are always fascinated when you see something that symbolizes the nexus point between that, between, is it a human or is it a machine? And you're not sure. Well, it's a creation of some kind. It's alive, but it'll kill you, and you can't kill it. And I think that was what the Super Soldier thematically brought to the show, which is this very tried and true sci-fi element. And it was exciting to watch it kind of come to life.
When we first conceive of a concept like the Super Soldier, that we know is going to involve an expensive and intricate design element like a suit, myself or one of the other producers will go to the art department and we'll discuss what our thoughts are and what we've imagined. And a lot of times I will just let them come up with something. I don't try not to give them too much direction, because they're very creative people in and of their own right, and they will oftentimes bring ideas that are even better than what we imagined. It's a process, so we'll eventually work towards a result that everybody's happy with.
The way the Super Soldier was designed by the art department was done mainly through Rob talking to them about what he saw it looking like. Me working with them as I wrote the episode Evolution Part 1 and saying, look, I'm thinking about this, and I would call them and go, look, I'm writing the scene where they take the mask off and all this mucusy stuff. Can we do mucus? Can the thing come off? Can air escape? Are there hoses that about disconnect? And they go, yeah, we're going to try that. And so I would sort of work with them while the script was being written. As often happens in TV, you don't sort of go, here's the script, just design exactly what it says. It's often done in tandem. You're writing, they're working, you're talking to each other. And ultimately what came out was great. You know, it wasn't like I wrote, and he's wearing red, and he's got a mustache.
The original concept was probably less of a concept and more kind of a general direction as to the requirements of what this character had to do. And the design wound up being based on that kind of thing. They wanted something that was more high-tech. The concept was that they're dead flesh, cloned bodies that were reanimated by use of, I believe it was the Telcheck device. And the look of the soldier was basically just to be more high-tech, scary. That was pretty much it. So it was very wide open when I sat down and did the first sketch. This is the first drawing that I did. When this drawing went in, they didn't like the cloth headdress hanging from the back of the helmet. They would not be carrying staff weapons anymore. Second, they were much happier with no staff weapon anymore. The chest section changed largely, and I based it more on human physiology than anything else. Here's a look at what we anticipated they'd look like once they were cleaned out, and also detailing of the impervious suit. This is my first take on the man inside the mask, and I guess the initial reactions were a little too Borg, and I was also going to do something I hadn't seen anywhere, which was have this fiber optic network running across the skull. This is a profile view of the clay maquette, keeping the praying mantis sort of look down in here. Todd Masters' take, the final prosthetic, and there you have it. The making of a monster.
Dang, dude.
We knew it would be very expensive to create one suit, but the idea was to create molds so that we could ultimately create a number of suits. The nice thing about the super soldier is he's wearing a mask, and so we cast a couple of guys, one in particular who's kind of our hero super soldier, and even though we kill the super soldiers all the time, Dan Payne comes back and plays him every time. It's been a great gig for Dan. I know there's some downsides to playing the super soldier. Being in that outfit can be quite hot, especially outside in the summertime, but I think it's been a pretty good gig for him.
The secret of the super soldier is that there's a really nice guy inside, despite all the evil and killing, okay? That's about it. No. Secret's about playing the super soldier. They built a body to build the suit on for me, and a head as well. Then they went to building the armor on top of that, and a suit that goes underneath. And they did an amazing job. It was the most functional, mobile, full body unit I've ever been in. So for comfort, it's awesome. The discomfort comes from the heat. And as was mentioned, there's a couple of days where we're running around in the 100-degree weather, or so it felt. And yeah, if you don't stay hydrated, I started to see, pink elephants with purple tutus a couple times. I shot at them, and it was just good times, except for overheating, basically. There's a girl, Nancy, who was the primary care person for me for the suit, and she was phenomenal. And any little, if something was sticking in here or there, she'd second skin it, and it would be done in a second. Well, at first it took us about 30 minutes to get into. Now it takes about 15 to 20. And getting out as fast as I possibly can, really. It's sticky and evil, but yeah, you get out of it no problem.
Dang, dude, what an episode. Avatar. We saw it last week.
I think this character, although we do eventually see underneath the outfit, I think he's kind of scary anyway. I mean, Dan Payne, the unseen man inside the mask, I believe is about 6'5". Then we put a pair of 2 to 3 inch heels on him in the boots. And on top of that is the added height from the helmet itself, because we've placed the eyes. His real eyes would be here, and the electric glowing eyes are actually about forehead level on him. He, by the time he's all suited up, he's, I'm guessing, close to 7 feet tall. So, I mean, just his sheer stature is kind of scary. The quality of the material is dark, reflective, high gloss material all through, and it takes light beautifully. That's one of the things that I love. You can see almost no detail on him, except you get these 2 glowing eyes staring out, and then surface detail, light rippling off the ribs in his outfit, and the lines. Everywhere I could, I kept the lines changing and moving, and I was really pleased with that aspect of it, because at the end of the day, the light just lives and moves on him. It's a very cool thing to look at.
What makes the super soldier cool is the fact that he's a 7 foot tall, massive dude in black armor. I think that just visually. The cool factor is anything that's tough to kill, people are interested in. I mean, that was what the Terminator mythology was. How do you handle something that's, you know, almost invincible? How deep inside do you have to go to find a way to defeat something that's almost undefeatable? And that's a neat dynamic.
It wasn't fun anymore to kill Jaffa. We had gotten to know them so well through Teal'c. We realized that they were very much just victims in the whole milieu of Stargate. I worked the word milieu into a sentence. There are a lot of situations where in stories you want to just be able to shoot the bad guy and feel good about it. And that's what the super soldier became for us. Well, he's definitely cool. I mean, I think it's made the ghouls, specifically Anubis, look a little smarter. It's given our team a new obstacle to overcome. Episodes like Avatar, in which, even though the super soldier was really just a figment of the game that Teal'c was trapped in, it was a great video game foil for Teal'c.
We see them in key moments in Lost City. We see them in season 8 episodes, just suggesting that, hey, you know, where there's Anubis, there are super soldiers, and you know, Anubis is a tough enough customer, but he's also got this posse of badasses who work for him, and I think it's added an extra layer of coolness to the look of SG1. I bet you that the technology Anubis was using to create them has not been shelved. I think there's probably going to be more variations on that kind of bad guy creation. I spent a lot of time thinking about how you reveal this brand new bad guy, and that opening moment in Evolution Part 1 where Braytak and Teal'c come across this massacre, and someone says it wasn't another army, it was one man. You go, what? You know, and then suddenly there's this guy who starts laying waste, and there's a great moment of where both of them go, wait a minute, we just shot this guy, and he just laughed it off, and I think that's a great moment of arrival.
Yeah, I loved Evolution. It was the introduction, and I think it was a great introduction. Everybody's sort of awe at how powerful this guy was. Prometheus Unbound is an episode we've just finished shooting, and will air in the second half of season 8. And it brings a whole new dimension to the super soldier that none of us really ever expected when he was first created. And I think fans will really enjoy that.
Damn, dude, way to spoil it. I wonder if they may put this special feature later on in the newer box sets. There it was, you guys. So let me put the next disc on Atlantis. We're going to be switching over to Atlantis. All right, you guys. Here we go. Stargate Atlantis. The episode is called Home. And it's season 1, episode 9. We're going to restart our timer. Meet me at 5 seconds. Yo. All right, you guys, we're at 5 seconds. This is what I see. Foggy Stargate planet. Get there, find it, do it. We're going to count to 3 and we're going to press play. Here we go. Come find it on Amazon Prime if you want to catch it for free. Well, kind of for free. Amazon Prime. There you go. All right, you guys, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bro. You should probably make sure before you take those off, right? Hell yeah. Yeah. Bro. Damn. Power levels strong enough to open a wormhole back to Earth. Is it possible, you guys? How long have we been there already? What episode is this? 9? 9 weeks later? It's been like 2 months, 2.5 months. Yeah, dude. Hopefully, hopefully the next leap will be the leap home. Cheers, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, dude. That's definitely worth it. At least let Earth know that we're alive and well over here. That we made it. We're not dead. $840, bro. Whoops. Hell yeah, Big Mac. I'd be so down. Yeah. Bro, we're calling Earth. Yo. Bro. Bro. Wow. We're all going. 1 month. We can be back in a month. Hammond. Hell yeah. Damn, dude. Bro. Come on, Hammond. You can do better than that, bro. Go talk to the president. I know you got that red phone up there. Wait. Why is General Hammond General? Isn't it General O'Neill now? Hang on. What's going on, you guys? Uh-oh. He's gonna teach her shopping. Bad move, bro. Damn. Dr. Weir's last love interest. Damn, dude. Putting his moves on Carter and now putting them on Weir. Come on, dude. Bro. Yeah, power power failure. Yep. Bro. Bro. Yo. Hours and hours. Bro. Yeah, dude. A lot of things. Like General Hammond. Bro. Yeah. Everything. What? What kind of accident? Bro. What's going on? Rodney's trying to get back home too. And now he's making it sound like he's not. Am I tripping? Are you guys tripping? Who's tripping with me? They're definitely tripping. Wait. Major Shepherd should have been the one to go? Couple beers in there? Bro. Nothing's dusty. Bro. Yeah, dude. Something strange is going on. They think that Weir stayed back at Atlantis, and Weir thinks that he stayed back at Atlantis. When they're all on Earth. Seeker, what's up, my dude? Here we are, bro. We're doing it. We're watching a little Atlantis right now. It's a good one. How have you been, man? Hope you're having a good week. Hell yeah, dude. Me too, bro. And I hope work, I hope the next few days go by a little quicker and you're done before you know it. I've been good, man. I've been chilling. Thanks. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, relaxing. Been doing it. Same old same. We got cartoons on Mondays, 40K on Tuesdays, Stargate Wednesdays, and then just movie watch parties on Fridays. Family time on the weekends. It's been alright. It's been good. We're going to be switching back to SG1 after this episode, and then going back to Atlantis after that episode. Since they're on Earth right now, just in case there's any crossovers, I don't want to mix them up. So right now we're watching like the week of the 10th, and then the next episode will be the week of the 17th for both episodes of the original date that they came out. Who are these clowns? This is where the episode takes a turn, yo. Yeah, see? That's not really her. Look at their outfits. Yeah. Damn, dude. Let me get one of those. Bro. Oh, there it goes. There it is. Bro. 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 Yo. Yo. Bro. Shepard, are you drunk? Yo. All right. Everybody relax. Oh, shit. Bro. I know, right? Little C, thanks for stopping through. Thank you for being here. I know, right? Yeah, for some reason Hammond is in this episode, which shouldn't be the case. Yeah, I don't know. It should be General O'Neill. Brigadier General Jack O'Neill. Yeah. Hope you're having a good week. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Joe Flanagan is he does well. He does well. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. You too. Oh, there it is. The big reveal. What are you, Hammond? Yeah, I have it off for copyright reasons. Please. But if you have Amazon Prime, they're both on Amazon Prime, SG1 and Atlantis. But I do show special features and let you hear the special features. We watched the special feature before this episode. I don't know if you want to rewind it. And I think I shared all the special features I will for this week. But yeah, I can't really let you hear too much of it because of copyright.
About a bachelor pad like that.
Major Shepard seemed uniquely capable of manipulating his own fabrication.
That's why I have it covered also. Yeah, dude. Good thing he's only pushed a handful of times in the show. He doesn't have to lose his shit too much with anybody. Can't wait till we watch that one time travel episode with Shepard. That one was wild. That would be great. I would be so down for that. If they completely remake it, we'll check it out and we'll see how it goes, but I'll be very skeptical on how well it'll come out. Yeah, dude, that's actually next week. Well, hold on. I think the storm is the next episode, isn't it? Yeah, dude. We're going to watch the storm tonight. So we're going to switch back to SG1 after this episode. We got like 5 more minutes left in this episode. And then we're going to watch SG1 episode 10 of season 8, just like they came out on the Sci-Fi Channel. And then we'll come back to Atlantis season 1 episode 10. I pulled up the dates, like the dates of release dates for these episodes. So we're watching them as they came out on TV. Damn. Well, I hope so. I hope they come back. That'd be awesome. Most of them, hopefully all of them. I mean, sadly, we won't have a few, but yeah, I'm way down. Well, thank you for being here, Little C. I appreciate you. Go grab some food, some munchies, some snacks, drinks, all your watch party enhancers. And we'll catch you here soon and later.
Hammond, you'd know that.
We don't leave people behind.
But if you allow us to leave here, we promise we will never return, ever. You will not have to fear us ever again. I give you my word.
I am on Twitch right now also. Dang, dude. Bro, the whole world, all of it. Everything was fake. It was all a dream. It was all in their heads. The mist people were showing them everything, making them dream it all. Remember that episode of SG1, the underwater world? Where the people would take over, the water would take over the people? Dang. So Earth never heard from them, huh? The same thing, my streaming buddy. Same profile picture also. Dang, that was the episode, you guys. Alright, we're switching back to SG1. I gotta switch DVDs back out. Hold on, just give me a quick minute. We'll be right there. I'll throw on some tunes. Good episode, good episode. Yeah, Watergate. Yeah, with the Russians, exactly that one. It reminds me of the mist from there, because, you know, they get inside your body and the water takes over, but they turn into mist too, and they go back through the gate as mist. Right? I'm pretty sure it turns into mist. And if it wasn't that one that can be missed, then I'll start theorizing that it's the Quetzalcoatl people. The big giant smoke mist buddy. What other smoke or fog creatures, monsters do we have in the Stargate universe? Oh yeah, that big black fog creature from just a couple episodes ago, hide and seek of Atlantis. Little C, what up? Little Picasso, hell yeah. platoon for Watergate. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about, Quetzalcoatl. That's the Crystal Skull aliens. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that counts. That definitely counts. Alright, you guys, the next episode is called Endgame, episode 10, Endgame. We're gonna reset our timer. Meet me at 5 seconds, you guys. So if you got Amazon Prime, find the episode number. It's gonna be season 8, episode 10. Whoop. There it is. And then meet me at 5 seconds. Kill that music. And since I can switch back and forth between commentary and the actual, well, the audio for the episode, I'll let you guys hear a little bit of commentary from the producers, like I did earlier. Or do you guys just want silence if you guys are watching it on your end? I could just do silence because you know, I can't let you hear the actual episode, but I can let you hear the commentary that they have. All right, you guys, I'm at 5 seconds. This is what I see. And count to 3, and we're going to press play. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you soon. Yeah, go get your munch on. All right, you guys, here we go. I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to press play. 1, 2, 3. The trust, dude.
The symbols, Dr. Jackson. We know it's the language of the ancients. We need them translated into gold.
So either you give us what we want, or I will kill her.
Bro. You got to be there, man. You got to be right here, and you got to be ready, man. If you're not ready, it can be over. People's lives are on the line. Yeah. What was that? Did you see that? Flash of light, dude. Yo, it's gone, dude. Bro. What happened, bro? You're fired, dude. They're gonna ask what happened. Yeah, dude. You sure are. Out of all the times he could have turned around, he turned around at the wrong time. Well, And he never took his eyes off of the gate after we got it back again. Grab your snacks, your drinks, you guys, your watch party enhancers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Cheers, you guys. So we're going to finish up this episode. And then we're going to switch it back to Atlantis. Yeah, I think the switching back and forth is too much. We're only going to do the switching back and forth when the episode... Like the last episode of Atlantis was called Home. And that was the first one that we were watching for the night. So I didn't want to watch this episode just in case they referenced last episode of something happening. Some crossover. So, yeah. But next week we'll do like the 2 episodes of SG1 first, and then the 2 episodes of Atlantis. That'll be our normal unless they cross over too much. Damn. Yeah, that sucks. I'd be down for a Walter action figure with karate chop action. Instead of a karate chop, it's just going to be him putting his hand down on the open the iris scanner. That'll be his action. Open iris action. Oh yeah, here, let me get you some commentary.
Owen Wallstrom were the 2 stunt doubles, and I forget who they were doubling.
No, just one guy. It was a Toka guy. Went back.
No,
back
that was
out.
Owen Wallstrom on the air ram going back on the bottom floor. But
Yeah.
I was making reference to a higher. I thought that shot was from the higher floor
It
from
was.
from the boardroom, and I recall the 2 guys holding onto each other and rolling out the glass onto pads. But I forget the name of that episode.
Oh, I don't know the one you're referring to. I'll have to look.
Because it would have been an ugly feeling. It's one thing to fall it yourself, but quite another to fall with someone else, all tangled up and thinking you're going to
You
get
get
an
a knee in
elbow
the groin or
something like
another
that. Yeah.
sensitive spot.
Exactly.
Well, I need some answers.
That's not
Damn it. He kept saying, well, I need some answers. Damn it. And I'd say, can you just, can you put a little more air between I need some answers and damn it?
So you can cut it out?
So I can cut it out.
Yeah.
He kept saying, I need some answers. Damn it. Because in his mind, that was, classic, silly TV banter, right?
Yeah. But good.
But good.
Yeah.
You get silly. Good silly.
Yeah.
When he can't contact us, he'll follow.
And
I think that's Zen in the background. He's from my karate class. He's a black belt. We used to spar regularly. We used to beat each other up. His name used to be Zed. Now it's Zen.
Really?
Yeah. Don't ask me why.
Just changed.
Don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's the second Zen.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, because there's so many Zeds around. You don't want to get confused. So
now this is the first time we see this control room proper. This is the Alpha Site control room, and this is Rob Lee doing he's reprising his role as Pierce. We first saw this character in the first ones, and he was a lowly lieutenant, I think, way back then, and he's been upgraded. And his hair is a little bit gray, and now he's in charge.
Yeah, his hair looks lighter. I was going to say.
He's in charge of the Alpha Site. He had hair all the way down to his back on 21 Jump Street. He played a hooligan. A hippie hooligan on 21 Jump Street. And I had completely forgotten that he had worked on that show and until I did some commentary on 21 Jump Street, the first season.
But you still keep track of those folks.
Yeah, but I mean, and I went, Rob, I completely forgot you were on those episodes and your hair was all the way down to your butt.
2 days before the gate disappeared.
So that was fun. I like Rob. He's a good guy, and I think
Yes.
Brad Wright is quite fond of him and his character and his acting ability. So I was glad to have him back. That for a lot of people, I'm gonna have to tell you this. I was one of the technicians. I was the last tech to come down the ramp in that fast forwarding thing, because no one will ever get that because you can't see me very well. So for those of you who are trying to figure out what my cameo was in this episode, it was the last tech who went down the ramp before they froze it in that previous shot. I'm sorry I made it a little too hard this time.
A little obscure.
Yeah. Now that was actually Richard Dean Anderson's thumb. You can tell because they fold back on themselves.
Yeah, he's got the deep nail beds. He never let me do his hand inserts anymore because he said that I had meat hooks.
Right. Well, he's got hooks. They just hook the
Bro.
He's got long, almost feminine piano-playing fingers, whereas I got workman's hands, he said.
He doesn't like that?
Doesn't like the look of
All right, I'm going back to the
fake.
episode.
No, he just thinks it's not.
There are still dozens of ex-agents who are unaccounted for, and they continue to receive financing from unknown sources.
Yeah, dude. My stamp collection. Damn. Damn, dude, everybody got busted on. I like that they're using Zat guns, but they probably shouldn't be using Zat guns out in public. Bro. Oh yeah, he's dead. Wow, of course. Bro. Well, since you're not dead, get out of there. You don't know what you don't know what it could be. Get out. Yo, damn. Everybody's dead. That's wild. What could have done that, dude? It's an Area 51 identification badge, huh? Well, we know where we're going next. Has it though? Bro. Damn. So much for Teal'c's people, huh? Damn. Damn.
Thunderbird on his head.
Big boy.
Which
Big
is the
boy.
Trans Am symbol.
Yeah.
As you may know.
Yeah.
Of the Trans Am clan.
Yeah.
This is a girl. She's drawing little doodads.
Yes,
on her,
she is.
on her thing. Now this, I think, because we're in direct sunlight and we're front lit, it kind of shows the limitations of the high definition. That's my car, by the way. That black
cool car
Impala.
There's a big kick off the.
I think you can see the crappiness of the quality of this particular scene. There's a little bit of shade here, so this close-up looks okay. But in some of the wider shots, like this shot is a little bit it's a little bit grainy because of the limitations. There's your buddy doing doing a slide turn. Now that's a machine pistol. Now Ed Anders gets in the car and does. I love that. I
like that.
Ed Anders does this.
He's in the reverse of his own shot.
Yeah, that's right. Ed Anders did the skid there too. And there's Rob Hader going in. He goes
into the room, and there's no one there again.
I've got to find somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm determined to find somebody.
One
this
human.
time. That's right.
There he is.
So he ran,
but he got a bunch of days.
And he got an upgrade right there
that's
too.
Cool.
Yeah.
He should have.
Yeah. Now he had to explain to the audience, don't shoot at him, even though he's shooting at us.
Yeah,
we
even
need him
though
alive.
his back was turned and he walked up 15 stairs and 10 guns trained on him.
Now this sequence, Paul Mully was very clever. He said, look, I can write a bunch of stuff, but it's just going to change based on what the thing is, right?
Yeah.
Well, based on what the conditions are. So why don't you just come up with the sequence and we'll discuss it. So that's what happened. So that's what happened
Cowboy
here.
switch there. That was Bill Lawrence, the stunt double, jumping down.
That's right.
And out comes the actor.
And our Peter Bryant comes out from behind.
Yeah. And Bill Lawrence also used to work in MacGyver as a stunt guy.
Well, that's right.
Got him.
That was a way of fooling the audience into thinking that the same
that's
man
a cool
had
outfit
run
the
out.
man is wearing too. What
You
is
like that? The little cat suit thing?
Is it leather? It's cool.
It's a pleather. No
pleather.
cows were killed in the making.
Oh,
of that.
correct. Exactly.
Yeah. Only plastic cows.
Yep.
So now we're on set, and this is the cargo hold. It's an extended room that ultimately got used as several different Gould places. And at the very end of the season, this same room became Anubis's chamber. And if you ever watched the I guess Reckoning or what have you. What is this now? This is the back end of a cargo ship made to look like a throne room, and that is Brandy Ledford playing the character of Zarin.
She certainly is.
And she was very excited this day because she had just gotten the role on Andromeda of Doyle.
Exactly.
The android, the very hip android, hippie android.
Of course.
And
so then she got to work with Michael Shanks' wife over there on Andromeda.
That's right. Well, she was actually replacing her because she was having a baby.
Oh, that's
she was
right.
filling in for her, rather, right? And
Bro.
you may also recognize Brandy.
I didn't know that.
Baywatch
What?
Hawaii.
That's awesome, dude.
So Zarin is a Tok'ra spy pretending to be a Gould, and one of the things that I promised the wardrobe lady was that we would find a woman who would properly fill out that dress because she had a very special dress in mind for that episode. And
talented. It's all
talented.
about the inner talent that comes out when you're on camera.
Well, yes. Well, I don't think there's any doubt.
I can't. A decorated officer of the United States Air Force and a member of one of our government's most top secret organizations is missing, and you're implicated. I don't think you're going to just walk away from this.
They'll kill me.
We can protect you. And we can also choose to ignore your $2 million Cayman Island account. Didn't think we'd find out about that, huh?
Damn, dude, busted.
So if I help you, I can keep the money?
We come to an arrangement.
prisoners, my lord.
Leave us.
My lord?
I intend to question them myself. Leave us now. Are you mad? What are you doing here?
We must speak with you.
Speak with me. Do you not realize that by coming here, you have placed all our lives in danger?
Are you not in control of this garrison?
I am. And as such, it is my responsibility to see to it that you are tortured for information until such time that Baal arrives to witness your execution.
Bro.
So what's it gonna be?
You said Colonel Carter was missing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's probably on the ship.
Bro.
Osiris's ship. So you did manage to get on board.
About a year ago, some men came to see me. They knew everything about my work, the Stargate, Osiris. They knew there was a possibility that a cloaked ship had been left in orbit, and they wanted it badly. I told them that the key was the wrist device. But I couldn't get it out of there, at least not through the front door.
What do you mean?
One day I was in the lab working on the adapter. The next thing I know, I found myself on the ship. I had remotely activated the transport beam,
which you failed to report.
It was killing me that I wasn't able to tell anybody I'd figured it out. I had to keep telling them it wasn't working. Anyway, after that, I went back and forth half a dozen times. But at the end of the day, the wrist device was always back where it belonged.
And you beamed the others up using locator beacons.
Well, the beam was the only thing that worked without the command codes. And that's where you came in.
Oh.
Osiris
Damn.
worked for Anubis, and Anubis had all his command codes translated into Ancient. And once they had full control of the ship, thanks to you, they had no need for me. They kept a permanent presence up there 24/7, worked in shifts. I went back to Area 51 and sabotaged the adapter. The project was shelved and no one was the wiser.
Oh, snap. Whoops. Damn, dude, we meet again. Bro. It's over. It's over for everybody. Yeah. Bruh. Bro. Damn, dude. Damn, bro. Dirty.
Yeah, gotta have.
Are we going for P5R357 or not?
So this is a good Carter bluffing moment where she's saying, "Don't waste your."
And how's the abs on Carter? She's all tight there, looking good. I mean,
Well, she works out.
You're
She
working
goes
out a
to-
lot.
she goes to
good posture.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a tough suit. If you're not there with the abs, you're not there. And she was obviously there. So
It'll
she's been
show.
doing crunches and she's been doing.
It'll definitely show.
Yeah, sure.
Now this is the scene you were referring to where the gas happened.
Oh yeah, there's Sly right there. All right. There's the knuckle.
And Richard has a tendency. He's not shy about his gas,
Yep.
right? And in this scene, he had gas, and I think he was saving it up for your close-up.
Coming down the steps.
Bro.
And yes, which could have jarred it loose when he was coming down the steps.
I don't think he's got pretty good control. But yeah.
Oh, that's Robert Vogel behind that map there. I got to point this. See that
Right there,
guy
yeah,
in the
Robert.
tech thing right there, back there?
Mm-hmm.
That's Robert Vogel, and he writes for a German sci-fi magazine.
Ah, that's right.
And he has a very thick German accent, and he's a huge fan of the show. And I thought I was doing him a giant favor by allowing him this tiny cameo in the back of the shot. But once he came off of there, and I said, "So how'd you like it?" He goes, "Oh, it was much better than when I was on Andromeda, and when I was on Beastmaster, and when I was on this." And I thought,
yeah, and every other big
"Man,
feature
you
in the world."
totally had me. You totally screwed me over. I thought you'd never done this before."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that's where Big Boy does his
That
huge
was-
flatulence around
Right.
that time there.
He ripped one.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting on you, and everybody was laughing except for you.
Well, you cut to Shanks. He had a nice reaction.
Yeah.
To Sly,
Yeah.
okay reaction. And
Yeah.
it went on for like 20 seconds. And the thing is,
Right.
when Big Boy, Richard Dean, heard about this edited thing you had put together.
Well, that was the editor. I can't take credit for that. The editor
Well,
actually.
he
did
wanted
that.
one. You'd think that Big Boy wouldn't want stuff, like because he gets stuff. He's got a warehouse full of stuff. But this was one he was like a little kid. How come I never get any of that stuff? He truly, and still to this day.
Yeah.
And no doubt we all have his address. We can just drive down and knock on his door and give him one. But he wants that. That's something that I have that he doesn't have.
That's the editor assembly. You actually got one.
You gave one to me, yeah.
Well, because of the editor.
So maybe you shouldn't give it to him, so I can have one thing that he doesn't have. But he wants that because it's a long flatulence and it's really funny.
Maybe next time you're in LA and you have that tape, you can, as an excuse,
or not, just show it to him and say no, one of those kind of things. Just like he does with his mansion. You can come in, but no,
okay, not all the way.
Yeah. You can just get past the gate.
Not
quite past the gate. The moat.
Now, you see that far guy who's working the weapons console, and there's 3 of them there, right? There's the executive officer, the guy just to the right of our captain.
Yes.
You may not recognize him, but he played the drugged out guy on the other side in the simulator. Remember the simulator capsules where you'd have the neural attachment?
Yeah.
And he was one of the fighter pilots in the VR simulator that was being drained of his neural capacity.
But not with the long-haired guy from 21 Jump Street.
No.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever go back to the other side, he's the cutaway extra where we has this very gaunt face, and we go, this is what can happen to you if you fly these VR.
Look at Shankster's guns too.
He's been working out
going on there too a little bit.
We went to a German convention, and he worked out every day. He went all the way to Germany and worked out every day.
The thing is, he's got the cuts too. It's hard to get that 0.03% body fat and the symmetry, and he's got it going on.
He's got it.
Got to take off your hat to him.
Yeah. Well, it could be that he's.
I don't think so. They seem to be.
He senses that the show, it is in its 9th season now. Yes. But maybe he senses that maybe the show will be over one day.
So maybe Baywatch for him then. Slide over, put on the red Speedo or the black one.
I don't know. But maybe he senses that he's got to keep in shape because if the show ever ends, not that it will.
No,
there's no end in sight at this point. It's only the 9th season.
Exactly.
It's only the 9th season.
Dallas went 15,
and they ended at 10.
14?
Did it?
I think it went pretty close.
Gunsmoke 25.
Yeah.
Sesame Street is still going.
And yeah. And so is Homer and The Simpsons. Still funny. Funny show on TV.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is a regular cargo ship made to look like it's that drawer was there from a previous episode, and we just used it again for the crystals.
Yeah.
These ammo boxes and stuff. There's a rental house that has all this kind of cool
More
stuff.
blinky lights.
More blinky lights. He was just coming out of the bathroom. His moment before, my direction to him was, you just went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And
he's got toilet paper hanging off his heel as you walk
That's
around
right.
the corner.
And you're very surprised to see these 2 people in the spaceship.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a seizure if there's more of these blinky lights. I'm telling you, it's getting to me.
Yeah, well, if you have epilepsy, you shouldn't watch Stargate.
And we actually had the voice of Homer Simpson on the last episode.
Dan
last year.
Sure did.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, Citizen
We
Joe.
got some cool people, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Average Joe.
Oh! Did you see that? It almost got him.
Came right at you. If
Big
we
fight.
had
Now
3D
talk about
glasses.
this. This was hard, right?
That was Adrian Hine, who did the spin. He was doubling for his boy there, and he was actually one of the lead doubles for Fantastic Four, and he's a very talented guy.
Now I'm going to tell you a trick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's
God, that
that?
was great.
Well, that was Adrian Hine again doing his little flip, yeah.
He did great. Let me tell you a little trick I do. Whenever somebody gets punched in the face like they are being punched here, I like to take a single frame out.
Yeah.
Bro.
So that their head jerks just a little extra.
Hell yeah.
When they're being punched. And I find that it looks infinitely more violent. So if you single frame advance these face punches, you'll see, in fact, that there is a frame or two sometimes that is missing. And if you watch it in super slow motion, 1 frame at a time, you'll see that their heads do, in fact, jump.
Because the stunt guys can't do their job well enough to sell the punch. So
no, I'm just helping. I'm accentuating.
Exactly. But if they could do it perfectly, you wouldn't have to accentuate.
Well, they don't have a full head of hair, and you know how much easier it is to sll a head hit with a full head of hair where you can just shake it, right?
Yeah, and then you can have all the
bunch of bald guys
perspiration,
getting punched in the head.
oh boy.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of ball guys getting punched, it's hard.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can just put sand in your catcher's mitt too, and you could poof.
Which is a great Jackie Chan trick that they used. A lot of the Hong Kong guys.
Sand everywhere.
Yeah, they put
Fuller's Earth
and
every
sand
cuff
for impact.
In your ears and your hair.
Where it doesn't necessarily justify it. Where
exactly. You get a drink of water and all of a sudden, stuff's just your back litton's just flying everywhere.
Now this is a strange situation. We didn't know. It was like, okay, do we hold? Do we shoot? There's just the one girl left in the cockpit. What's she gonna do? Can we take the ship from her? And they didn't know what the exact situation is, or if there were more people on the ship. And so, I mean, the audience knows that there's no other people, but they didn't know, and so they didn't know if they could actually properly take the ship. So, the mission was get the Stargate back. And yes, it's a drag that they're losing this ship, but it was nice that they were going to be able to have it to possibly fuel other episodes.
Mm-hmm. So we can all continue to work for a bit longer.
Acknowledged.
That's right.
General O'Neill.
So now we had to do the cleanup. We got the hero characters.
Yeah.
We got Teal'c and O'Neill.
Bring him home.
Bring them home.
Yes,
That's kind of like the tag. They used
Bring
to
them
have
home.
tags all
Damn
the
it.
time. They don't have tags anymore in TV.
Yeah, we don't.
And all you actors hated the tag. You never took it
denouement.
serious. You all showed up and said, "Here's the tag," which wraps up the episode.
Well,
It was
the
silly.
French like to refer to it as the denouement.
Exactly.
Which I think means just tag.
The tag, yeah.
Now there's you,
There's a slang
and there's
on it.
Robert Vogler again. Now did he pinch you or anything?
He was
like?
speaking German to me the whole time.
Was he scared when he was up there?
No. Oh, no. He wanted to take the whole room over is what he wanted, but we wouldn't let him.
So this is the gate is back where it belongs. All is well, theoretically.
Yeah.
And
In retrospect, maybe I should have destroyed the ship.
you know the trust is still out there. They have a ship. They've used their missiles.
Millions are
for,
dead.
You know, for terrible travesty of killing all these Jaffa. And it's like, well, just a very small hurdle has been overcome. We got the Stargate back.
Dang,
and we can
dude.
prevent it from being stolen. again.
Exactly. And I
So
think
you
Chris
did a great
Judge's-
job of coordinating those fights, because those were pretty cool.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I think so. I mean, that guy was tossing himself this way and that. The Carter had handcuffs on.
Yeah.
We had a character got shot through and through with the staff blast.
Exactly.
And now, who did that staff blast for
That was Bill
Hoskins?
Lawrence.
Again.
Yeah, again, Bill. He came back. He owns his own restaurant. Used to work in MacGyver. He's a good guy.
Thanks for joining me, Dan.
Thank you for having me, Mr. DeLuise.
Oh,
maybe
right.
Peter.
Well, maybe I'll have you later after I buy your
Oh,
dinner.
boy.
All right, you guys. We're going to switch it over to Atlantis for the last episode. Last episode of the stream. Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 10. I just got to switch discs again. You want to refresh your snacks, your drinks. Alright, we're gonna start the storm. So we're probably gonna have a fat cliffhanger because it's a storm, and then I think the eye of the storm's the one right after, right? Yeah. The storm in the eye, he said. All right, you guys. We are at 5 seconds. This is what I see. We're going to restart the timer. Meet me at 5. We're going to fix that episode number real quick. Hang on. All right, season 1, episode 10. Stargate Atlantis. They're talking about the Genii. We're going to count to 3 and we're going to press play. Here we go, you guys. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, buddy. Look at how big that... Bro. That's a fat hurricane, dude. It's over. It's over for everybody. Dang, dude. So hopefully the ancients, they knew about this storm. If it's a storm that's been going on since then, and they've figured out a way how to defend themselves against it since the beginning. That'd be cool. Unless they would have just used the shield, but the shields, we can't use them because we don't have enough power right now. So that's cool. That's cool also. Unless the storm, maybe the storm was created by the ancients when they were still occupying the planet. Maybe they created the storm in defense of the Wraith attacks. Maybe Atlantis was inside the eye of the storm. Alright, I'll calm down. Thank you, Taylor. Yeah. Yeah. What? No, I'm out of here. Here, shoot him. Shoot him, Shepard. Bro. That's right. Tell him, Shepard. Tell him, Shepard. Tell him that the gun's never been fired and only dropped once. Yo. Hell yeah, dude. I agree, bro. Yo, the tidal wave that. Oh, dude, all of it was so great. But that'll be next week's episode. I'm sorry for the cliffhanger. Yeah, dude, pretty much. Pretty much. That way we can milk it out just a little bit longer. There he is, Kolya. Kolya. He was a villain in Bond? I had no idea. I've only seen like 1 or 2 Bond movies. I don't know, I've never really been a fan of Bond. Nice, hell yeah. I know he's been in like a bunch. I know he's been in a good amount of things, but I'm not sure what. But Bond, hell yeah. Carson, why? Damn, dude. Bro. Bro. It's just a brisk walk away, so it's by brisk you mean far, and by walk I mean run, bro. Yo, it's this guy's fault. Bro. Well, there it is. It's over, you guys. We got a foothold situation. Yeah, dude, this is the city of the ancestors. You better recognize. Another one of my favorite episodes is the one with the bug beam laser that they have. The bug beam. They're not bugs anymore, but dang. Until it passes over. Did you see the size of that storm? Bro. Bella Truth, hello, here we are, we're doing it. We got about 12 minutes left in the episode, and then we're going to call it a day. But thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, dude. This is a great one. It should have been a two-parter. I mean, it is a two-parter, but like the Storm Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah, we got some chores to do. We got chores to do later while I still have a little bit of sunlight. So we had to do the stream a little early. Bro. Yup. Damn, dude. It'll be ours or the oceans. Bro. Dang, dude. W. Shepard. Oh, fried. That's right. Why would I need two? Bro.
I'll give you a ship!
I'll give you a ship. Damn, you guys. Yo, Star Wars Marvel Purist, what's up, my dude? Hope you're having a good week, my guy. Hope you're chilling. We're just finishing our stream right now. To be continued, you guys. That was great. Great episode. Next week's will be even greater when Major Shepard gets his revenge. How have you been, my dude? Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for stopping through. That was it, you guys. That was the Stargate watch party. It was good. We enjoyed it. We liked it. We're going to keep doing it tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow, but we'll be doing it. Yeah, dude. No, bro. Like I've said before, a wizard is never late nor early. He arrives exactly when he means to. Yeah, dude. Seeker, thanks for joining me, my guy. Next week, we'll catch the Eye of the Storm. We'll keep it going next Wednesday. You too, bro. Pierce, thank you for stopping through. We'll catch you again soon. Alright, you guys. So tomorrow, not sure what we're going to be playing, but we'll play something. Probably a game. Friday, we'll be back Friday for a movie. Maybe a double feature. Not too sure which movies, but I'll definitely throw up the schedule a couple hours ahead of time so you get a minute to find what we're watching. And then Monday, you guys, we got anime. We got some cartoons. Not sure what either, but I will let you guys know. Tuesday, 40K. I'm not sure if we're going to do the Nolan oiling on the Terminators yet, but if we do, we'll be doing some Dark Tide after that. And as for the strategy games for 40K, strategy games and probably Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. I might be streaming those just on Twitch or not at all, and then making shorter videos. That way you guys can watch them without me sitting there trying to figure out my next move. So yeah, because your time's valuable. You'll never get it back, and I appreciate you spending some of it here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Everybody that watched, everybody that joined us, everybody that hung out. Bella Truth, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Seeker, my dude, thank you for being here, hanging out. Purist, my dude, thank you for chilling. Thank you for stopping through. Little Picasso, Little C, thank you for hanging out and being here. Appreciate your time. Max, the Robot Crab, thank you for stopping by. Zonex, thank you for being here. Lurkers, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out and chilling. Bots, don't really care for the bots, but thank you, I guess, anyways, for giving me a couple chats in the chat. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Peace.